So, are we going to talk about um, wrestling, or do you want to talk about? Have you heard about the lawsuit that got settled this week? The one with Afro Man.
Oh, well, that's not the lawsuit I thought we were going to talk about.
Oh, Afro Man got his house raided and then sued the cops because or he didn't. The cops sued him because he made parody music videos out of them, and he said it was his freedom of speech, and he won.
Yeah, I thought we were going to talk about the one involving Ted DiBiase Jr.
Oh, you mean the one that's keeping him out of WrestleMania?
Well, but not so much anymore.
Oh, is it settled?
Well, the it went to the jury this week, and yeah, he was acquitted.
Oh wow, Ted DiBiase Jr. acquitted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
see, I was obsessed with Afro Man and lemon pound cake.
I these are things that I have no idea what you're talking about.
See, this is what happens when we don't talk to run a pre-show before we do these things.
But like those are all words that I understand most of what those words actually mean, but in the context that you're using, I have no idea.
Lemon pound cake or Afro Man?
Yeah, I know what a lemon pound cake is.
Okay, good. I'm just gonna say.
Like that those three words together at least mean something to me, but Afroman, no.
Oh, okay. So not a hip hop fan. The Newfoundlander's not a hip hop fan.
I mean, we got a new WWE Hall of Famer this week.
Oh yeah, that's probably the most exciting news of this week.
Is it?
Well, I don't know. This show was actually good. I enjoyed this a great deal. I ended up putting my Switch down to watch this show.
I thought that it had some interesting points to it, but there's a lot of it that I am not really terribly enthused about. Also, we've got some congratulations in order.
Okay, so why don't I play a theme song and then we'll get into the congratulations and then people will actually introduce ourselves instead of just yammering.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, hit the music.
Podcast and sports entertainment is Brad, the dad and father Greg, the SmackDaddies.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the SmackDown review for the Hub. I am Brad, the dad, and riding shotgun with me is my tag team partner, Greg, Father Feltham.
Bless you, my son.
And Greg, who do we congratulate to start this show off?
We're going to start to congratulate WWE star Eric and his wife Sarah Logan are expecting their third child.
Yay! Congratulations! And this is why Sarah Logan has never returned to the ring.
Sure.
Childcare is expensive, Greg.
It is. Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
Wait, and I've never heard of this WWE superstar you're referring to.
Who? Eric Rohan? Eric or Sarah Logan?
Sarah Logan, I remember she's part of the Riot Squad, but this other guy, does he do some sort of raiding with a tag partner?
I don't know, but what's even more fun is that Ruby Soho from AEW actually did the announcement photo.
Aww.
I thought that was kind of cool.
So everybody's having babies and Liv from the Riot Squad, except for Liv Morgan, who is going to main event WrestleMania.
Sarah Logan was in the Riot Squad?
Wasn't she? Wasn't it Sarah Logan, Ruby, Soho, and Liv Morgan? That was the Riot Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Before she was Valhalla, she was in the Riot Squad. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm right. All right. You want to tell that? You want to text my wife?
I just keep thinking of, her with the crazy hair and antlers and shit.
Yeah, no, she was a Riot Squatter. Riots with the double T's.
Yeah. She wasn't in that submission sorority.
No, that's a different. And we saw a good part of the submission sorority on this show.
All right.
Greg, this show was amazing. Other than the fact that we had so many recaps.
Did we watch the same show?
I mean, if you take out the recaps, this show was fine.
Oof. I don't know. I don't think I would agree with that.
Here's recap 1. Oh, that's because I have the thing off. You sent me a project, Greg, and I got distracted.
Sorry.
I was trying to get that music.
You can spice that in a little bit later.
All right. Well, first of all, let's go back to this one so that I can go recap number 1. Hey, Greg, guess what? We are getting Randy Orton snapping over and over again.
Sure.
Cold open on the desk, explaining what's going on. I love how they had the usual walk-in, but they actually use this as something this week where Drew McIntyre has crashed his car into Jacob Fatu.
So I this is the part that makes no sense to me, because obviously that is well staged, but you have Jelly Roll pulling up in his truck. He obviously drives past the vehicular assault that happened, pulls up his car, gets out, and then has people rush by him, not to greet him, but to go back to the assault scene.
So they show him in the car. Maybe he was just told to wait in his car until the cameraman gets there. He's been there for like 5 minutes scrolling. Cameraman shows up and says, "Okay, we're live," and he walks out of his car. And he's missed the whole crash. But he wouldn't have heard it.
Heard it? Like, the logic here doesn't logic, Brad. Like, even if they had want to do that, he should have got out of his car and turned his head back, because he should have heard the sound of the crash.
He thought everybody was rushing there to see him, like fans at a Jelly Roll concert.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to turn you on how bad this episode of SmackDown was before this is over.
Greg, I actually really enjoyed this. Anyways, Drew McIntyre has crashed his car. He then has his taped up hands. He rips the glass off of the windshield and then pummels Jacob Fatu. And
one normally does in a car crash.
As one normally does the start of the workday. I'm coming off vacation next week. That's just I'll greet my coworkers. I'll crash my car into the side of them and then rip their thing off. I just pummel them. That's right. That's how you work. That's how you start your workday.
Yeah, apparently. Mm-hmm.
That's how Greg starts his Monday, every Monday.
Every Monday.
Rents a car, starts at the Enterprise, and they're like, "You want full insurance on this one, Gregory?"
Yes, they do.
Okay. The best part is that then Drew just storms to the ring and he's demanding. He's just PO'd, Greg. He's going to kill everyone who's wronged him. Nick Aldis comes out and he's yelling at him. And I'm still excited for my Nick Aldis Drew McIntyre match. Nope. Out comes Jacob Fatu and the fight's on. My personal favorite was when he beat him up and laid him on the ringside table. And then he walks away. And the conveniently placed is enough items that he can basically step up and dive and flatten the table and Drew. And this becomes our Peter and the Chicken Man running fight throughout the show.
Like, this is where you almost need to play the sound of like time travel back to last week, because you called this. You called the Peter Griffin and the Chicken.
And this is just going to be, do you think they're just going to do this all the way to WrestleMania?
Potentially, yeah.
I really hope that they do a cinematic match.
I would not be opposed to a cinematic match.
Just to break up the WrestleMania-ness of WrestleMania.
Yep.
Recap number 2. Is this where you're going to tell us one of the alternate titles for this episode, because we get to recap what we just saw?
No, but it does start to lend into my potential theory here.
Okay, so for 15 minutes into the show, no wait, I changed my note. 20 minutes into the show, and we're finally going to get our first match, because there was 5 minutes of entrances before our tag match. The MFTs versus our priest.
Yes, our priest is here.
By the way, Greg, WrestleMania sold a bunch of tickets this week. And that's because they knew it was going to happen.
Did they? Did they sell a bunch of tickets this week?
Yeah, they had a 31.6% off sale before Austin 316 Day.
Oh, very good.
And that moved a decent amount of tickets. So basically, this is just pre-selling, right? Like he sells through most of this match. There's a heart tag to R-Truth, and then R-Truth does his John Cena tribute. He starts to sell because of outside interference by Big Tala Tonga. So this brings out the Wyatts. The Wyatts cause chaos, including almost taking the lantern. This means that JC Mateo saves the lantern, but goes back into the ring and eats a finisher. And that means that after a John Cena tribute spot, our Priest are our champions, proving once again, Gregory, that any two single stars can enter the tag division and be better than these teams that have worked for years as a team.
Uh-huh. Yes. Sure.
And we get then we get the shocked look on Damian Priest's face. Like, did you see this shot where he's just like, his mouth is open, like, we actually did something?
Yeah. Man, oh man.
Remember when this guy... Come on, Greg.
This is great in that I'm happy that we have R-Truth and Damian Priest winning here. I'm also happy that this takes it off MFTs, so I have to see them less. So all those things are good for me.
But you have to feel a little bit for Damian Priest. This guy was cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase and winning a title at WrestleMania a couple years ago. And now, is he even going to be on WrestleMania, or is he having a tag team gauntlet on the SmackDown before?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You're actually thinking about this a little bit. You're like,
I don't know. Either of those things could work.
Anyways, it's fine. They won. They get their picture with Triple H in the back, and Damian Priest is kind of like, I'm okay with this. And R-Truth is like the biggest smile on his face, Greg. It is what
we did forget to mention that at the beginning of the show, as they're doing the entrances and stuff, there's R-Truth sitting in a barber's chair, bald, getting a haircut.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah,
he was living his best life. Oh, here, Greg, I have it for you. I knew I downloaded this. Look.
The problem with this is that Triple H isn't pointing.
Yeah, but I mean, remember, they don't fire people, though. The contracts just get disputed. That's why he's like, R-Truth is 50-something years old. He got released in the last 12 months and now is the tag champ.
Yeah. What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Releasing R-Truth. No, don't do that.
But you know what? There's some quality releases that are available. Bella Twins show up and they're talking about how they got plans. They have plans. They're going to make history and win the tag titles. And then the best, Charlotte.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen, guys.
Charlotte and Alexa come in and they're eating ice cream and they're trying not to be bitter, but they are, they got next.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We're getting the Bellas on SmackDown every single week from here to WrestleMania.
How many weeks till WrestleMania, Brad?
4.
I may need to go on special assignment.
Multiple times?
Yeah. Or
just for Bella matches every week?
No, I'm thinking 4 weeks, but let's see.
Oh, come on. The Bella Twins are back. They are like, there is a soccer practice that's missing 2 soccer moms.
Also, I mean, when it comes to the match, you can't twin magic this anymore because they're not wearing the same gear.
They also don't look anything alike anymore. They look sort of alike. If you look at their faces, if you add in any other parts of the body, they don't look anything alike anymore.
All right.
Johnny Gargano's lying in the back. And
no, that's not a scene.
Oh, sorry. Johnny Depressing is lying in the back. Oh, I forgot we coined the phrase. Johnny Depressing is lying in the back, and I love how she trying to do anything. And in comes Danhausen, and he says, "I can revert. Can you reverse the curse for $20 human?" She reaches into Johnny's pocket, gives the $20, and then distracted, so he disappears.
Yeah.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah. But we're giving Johnny a new name this week, Brad.
What is he now?
Oh, no. We'll wait yet.
The Machine Guns are going to fight Fraxiom in the Panda Express match of the night. But before we get to that, we see Randy Orton snapping again from last week. So there's another recap. Greg, everyone's cheering Randy Orton. This heel turn's working great.
This is the Stone Cold heel turn.
And Sammy's asked to comment on this, and he doesn't quite know what to say. He talks a little bit about Cody and how things have not worked out for them. And then, but he seems to have some sympathy. And Trick William comes in and he talks about how he beat Jacob Fatu. He's one of the few people that have beaten Jacob Fatu. And you know what? When life gives you lemons, Greg, get some lemon pepper steppers.
That's that's exactly how the old saying goes.
Trick Williams is going to watch Sammy's match later.
Great. Fantastic.
Why is Nick Aldis letting people come out and watch matches? This
Random people.
This show goes so much smoother if there's nobody at ringside.
What? No.
Anyways, Panda Express brings you the Motor City Machine Guns and Fraxiom.
Right. Yep.
Because I think of quality matches and quality food.
100%.
So in all seriousness, this was an excellent match. There was lots of cool things, but one of the not so cool things is if you go back and watch the dive to the outside, Nathan Frazer makes no contact with Motor City Machine Guns.
Does he? I didn't really pay attention to it.
I was watching last night. I put down my Switch and I was like, watch him dive, and they have their hands up. He may touch their fingers.
Fair enough.
It was so good. I was like, this match was so amazing. And then there's this one big botch right in the middle that I'm just chuckling about because other than that, this was a great match, ending with good old Candice coming out and standing there. And when given the opportunity, she punches one of either Axiom. I don't remember which one it was. And
she punched Frazer.
Sorry. Yeah. Frazer gets a punch in the head and Sabin rolls him up, and Shelly clearly sees this, but is like, I'm not saying anything. Screw that.
Yeah, with a little wink and a nod from Candice LeRae. I think that we've had him called Johnny Depressing. Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Depressing. Now I think we're gonna have to start calling him Johnny Cuckholding.
Oh no! Either that, or we're gonna create a trio. then he's really Johnny Cuckholding.
Yep.
It brings a whole new meaning to raise your fists.
The story writes itself, Brad.
All right, another recap. Hey, do you remember about 20 minutes ago when Jacob
I broke you, didn't I?
You broke me because I love the fact that we get this recap because it's basically reminding us that these guys are unhinged, just beating the hell out of each other.
Sorry, are we still talking about the three-way?
We're talking about the Randy Orton promo next.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were still talking about the Motor City Machine Guns, Candice LeRae, Johnny.
Okay,
moving on.
No, okay, moving on. So Randy Orton is there, and we're waiting for the boos, Greg. All those boos came out. Oh, wait, no. In fact, the fans lost their mind. And then Randy does his best cutting this promo. I don't care about the high fives and the cheers. I just want to win a 15 title. When my career's done, all that'll matter is how many titles I won. And the crowd just loses its mind cheering. The background of this thing, no matter what WWE production tries to do, nobody's cheering for Cody. This is Randy Orton's year.
Yeah, and this is the confrontation with Matt Cardona backstage where he calls him.
Oh no, that's later.
Sorry.
This is him out front in the crowd, and the crowd for the first time tonight.
We're in the crowd or the first talking segment. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm skipping ahead.
That's okay. We'll get there in a second. But first, we have to get another recap. Yeah, because the Bella Twins brought to you by Panda Express.
Sure.
Again, quality things brought to you by Panda Express.
Yes, all those things. They're quality.
Now you get your buddy mouthing off, and then Cardona confronts him, and he just decks Cardona.
Well, as he should.
So now we have Sami Zayn versus Aleister Black. And before we really get into this match, whoop that trick. Another Dastardly heel came out.
No.
They really have a problem on this show where I don't think fans boo anybody.
That they're supposed to boo?
Well, they might boo the Bell Twins.
Yeah. All right. Fair.
But are we supposed to boo the Bell Twins?
Are we supposed to? Maybe.
Depends on your perspective on the Bella Twins.
Yeah.
Here on this show, we will boo the Bella Twins. So
that sounds like a good idea to me.
Sami Zayn, Aleister Black. This match was basically Sami selling the entire time, leading up to a confrontation with Trick at the outside, where he pushes Trick's feet off so he could slam Aleister's head into the table, throws Aleister back in, and he eats a cup of water thrown on his back. This caused Sami a snap. Basically almost get counted out. He would have been better off being counted out because he came back in to get kicked in the face. And Aleister wins a match. Aleister Black has won a match on SmackDown, but it's against the lovable loser, Sami Zayn.
Due to outside interference.
Right. And Trick Williams is still laughing. Sami Zayn can't cut a break. And Aleister Black's like, I told you so. Should have been listening to those voices in your head like Randy. Yeah. So Matt Cardona wants to fight Randy Orton, but we don't have time for that tonight, Greg.
Right. No, we don't have time for that.
This show is too full.
Too much on the go.
And then there's an open challenge that's going to happen for the U.S. title, but that challenge has been filled. And in comes from Mello and Nick are talking about this, and in comes Dragunov. And Dragunov has found his courage, and we're going to get a match.
That's what we're going to get.
Thank God this match was on the show, because if not, there wasn't much good wrestling on the show.
For the 400th time.
But this was still a great match.
Oh, it was. I'm just kind of getting...
You're getting done with it?
Yeah, I think we're getting a little bit too much of this. Didn't we skip over the whole Jade Cargill Rhea Ripley?
Oh, no, that's the Jade is next. That's you're next.
Oh, sorry, this is the setup for the match.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
So Jade comes wandering out in, how would you describe Jade's outfit?
Purple.
Right. With feathers and...
I would describe it as purple. It's a fruit and a color.
Right. And it also involves a lot of tape.
Sure.
Speaking of tape, here comes Rhea Ripley coming out. And my favorite part is Rhea's like, do you want to fight? And I'm like, you two are not fighting in these outfits. This is not happening tonight.
Yeah.
Though this show is PG-13 and we can't go any higher. So basically they mouth off to each other. And this is just a way for Jade to improve herself. And for Rhea, this is her life. And Rhea doesn't need the title, but she's going to take the title from her anyways. And then out comes B-Fab and Michin. And it looks like they are going to... Are they going to confront them? No, they're not going to confront Jade. They're going to be Jade's backup.
Yeah, this is the what the hell are we thinking moment of the night. This is when I really start to question whether or not someone who should not be named is back in control of the company, because dementia has either set in to Triple H or he's back, and I'm not sure which one it is yet.
Well, okay, so this is all from Rhea last week, trying to be nice to them and them taking it the wrong way. And then apparently there's a scene in the back last week where you can see B-Fab and our girl talking, Jade. And so this has all been smoothed out over this week.
Sure.
And so this is just going to be two people for Rhea to beat up between here and Mania.
Sure. I this to me is I really am struggling with this one, Brad. I really am, because this makes absolutely no sense. When Meechin was put out of commission because of Jade Cargill and came back, and even last week was or 2 weeks ago was
No, you're right. Last week
right?
was seeking revenge.
So why is it now that you're with Jade Cargill? Like, this makes absolutely zero sense. I don't understand this, and I don't like this at all.
Unless our Jade has worked something out for Meechin and Beef Happen, they're getting a tag title match out of this.
Yeah.
Anyways, they're heels now. That took a week. So Kit Wilson's in the back with Miz, and he has learned the Miz method, master,
Inspire,
and zone in. Right, he has mastered the Miz method. But Miz had a really bad week. He missed a flight. There was a sunburn. Danhausen sneaks up behind him, slaps him in the back, and then says that, "Are you gonna be my mentor?" And Miz is like, "No." And then Miz is like, "No, you know what? You go handle Jelly Roll by yourself. I'll stay here. You won't learn if I'm out there with you." And then a ladder nearly hits Miz, and then a ladder does hit Miz. The curse is real, Greg. The curse is real. And who better to play out the curse than Miz?
Yeah. The Hawaii vacation ruined. Ladders falling at him. I like this. I really do.
And Dom was cursed too, because on Raw he was so beat up from his match in Mexico he wasn't cleared.
Yeah.
So we'll get more from Kit Wilson later. Solo is losing it in the back because they have lost the tag titles, Greg. And finally, somebody just says, "Hey, why don't we just give the Wyatts back the lanterns and snuff this feud after 9 months?"
Because that would make me happy.
The Tama Tonga standing up, and then finally Tama Tonga and Solo's like, "What did you say? Hey man, you're acting like Roman Reigns, and this is going to set Solo off. But before that, we can figure out what's going to happen here. We have a fight. Drew and Jacob fight through, and they're fighting in there. And the only thing I'm thinking about this whole time is, wait, isn't Jacob related to like half the people in the scene? There's no Samoan backup here?"
I wish I could explain that.
Anyways, this is just a reminder that they're fighting. Also, Dennis Rodman's going in the Hall of Fame. Yay! Oh, it'll be a good speech.
Sure.
Okay, he has done a lot for WWE. He has done a lot for WCW. He skipped practices to go to Monday Night Nitros.
Yay.
He had more matches than Drew Carey.
I mean, that's a low bar.
Okay, I'm going to ask you an honest question. Dennis Rodman or Coco Beware?
That's a good question. I don't know.
See, the WWE Hall of Fame, the bar is so low, it doesn't matter. Jelly Roll is in the back with our priest. So as we could call them in this one, Sushi Roll and our priest. And they're going to go have some pops later and celebrate the fact once Jelly Roll has handled business. And then he walks over to Randy and he says, "Randy, you know, you were a bad guy, and I'm not here to judge you. I know what it's like to be a bad guy. I made mistakes. I've done bad things in my life, but I've loved the man that you've become. A good father, a good husband, a beautiful soul. And I'm telling you, you just need to start by apologizing and working things out." And Randy said he's going to go fix it. And he hugs Jelly Roll, and he's going to go find Matt Cardona and fix all these problems.
That seems like something that's surely going to happen.
So I now want to make an image where it's like Randy Orton and the voices in his head are going to be Jelly Roll. Mm-hmm. And you have a suggestion for who the other voice might be later on in the show, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
You have a theory of who the other voice in his head is.
Yes, I do.
Kit Wilson comes out and he calls it Jelly Roll, and he's smart because they're not going to have a match. They're going to have slam poetry. And the best is the look on Jelly Roll's face when the lights change in the ring.
Yeah, that was interesting to say the least.
Best line from Kit Wilson was, "Congratulations on losing 300 pounds. Now maybe you can see your willy." And
That's
then
right.
Jelly Roll responds immediately with, "I don't need to see my willy. Your mom can."
Yes.
And right after a second, your mom joke, Kit Wilson snaps and beats up Jelly Roll.
Yes. Oh no, he gets a second one in about his stomach he's being on his mother's back.
That's right. I know. So he got two in,
Yeah.
two your mama jokes, and then Jelly Roll's left laying. This leads us to the back with all of the people who don't have anything to do for WrestleMania. Julia's there. She's chewing out Kiana James because Kiana didn't win her match last week. Chelsea rolls in and says, "You know what they say?" And then my favorite is that Alexa or Alba has to remind her, "You know what the saying is, Greg? The enemy of my enemy is my friend."
Yes.
And Julia doesn't need her help. And then the irresistible forces push Chelsea out of the scene.
Because why not?
Because why not?
Because why not, Rat?
All right. So this is the first time since 2018 that the Bellas have had a match, and we are so privileged to get to see it.
Yeah. I went to bed early last night so I could get up this morning and watch this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We saw Daniel Bryan kicks.
No. The yes kicks, Brad, that she invented.
Right. No, she stole them from The Miz.
Right. Yes.
They're the it kicks. We see Nikki dive to the outside and have both of the girls catch them. And at some point, Nia says, "You know what? This match is terrible. I'm going to go grab." I've been selling for these two 40-something-year-old moms for the last 20 minutes. I'm going to go grab a title.
Because, as we do.
And cheat to win. And Charlotte saves the Bella Twins from getting blasted with the title, but it's a DQ. So the Bellas lose their cool and attack Charlotte and Alexa. And then the irresistible forces leave all of them laying.
Right. Yep.
This is foreshadowing for the rest of this, right?
Yeah, in the let's do the exact same thing as we did last week.
Right, but next week we're gonna get the Bella Twins versus Charlexa. Right. That's on a preview, which means that Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss will come out and watch.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we come to cut to the back and Randy's on the phone with somebody. Greg, is this where you want to talk about who is on the phone? Who we now know Jelly Roll is the angel on his shoulder. Who is the devil?
So here's my let's wait on the theory until we get something to happen in the ring. Oh. But I have a theory. When I heard this phone call, I was like, who is this going to be on this call? And then it kind of came together to me a little bit later in this. So,
all right, a Greg prediction. Just wait a second, because basically Randy Orton comes out and he's going to apologize to Matt Cardona. Always ready. Matt Cardona comes out with his T-shirt. I'm not finished, by the way, but by the end of this segment he will be. And so Cardona's in the ring, and Randy's like, "Hey man, action figures are cool. I play video games too. I'm sorry." So they hug it out, and then he goes to shake his hand and he just kicks him in the balls and blasts him with steps, leaves him laying.
No, hold on. He kicks him in the balls and then gives him a stunner.
Oh. And
this is where it dawned on me. It's like, it's not going to be Stone Cold. I would doubt that. But this to me is screaming Kevin Owens.
Oh,
Kevin Owens had the big feud with Cody Rhodes. Right?
Oh, and he was supposed to fight Orton last year, and then he was hurt.
Right? So this to me is Kevin Owens. Now, I know Kevin Owens isn't ready to come back, but at least that's how I've got it in my head.
He's got to be close. He's had a surgery. It's been a year.
I don't know. I don't think so.
You're usually 12 months from those surgeries. So
yeah, but
He had the surgery in June, so let's say he's like 2 or 3 months out.
And this July.
Would be okay.
July 2025.
So that would be 4 months away. I mean, he could be a manager. He could be his mouthpiece for a while.
Could be.
And then out of nowhere can be the monster, and it's like can attack and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, I've been cleared for a while."
Yeah.
Listen,
so anyhow, keep going on this segment.
I'm just going to say to you, Will Ospreay's back in 7 months after his neck surgery. So neck surgery's come a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the dude, he just lays him out on the table after this, beats him within an inch of his life. And then he's like, here's the voice in his head. He's walking away. He's got it holding his head. And then he throws him in the ring, takes the chair that he's brought to the ring to sit on, puts it around Cardona's arm. And just when you think it's going to be all over, he breaks out and stomps Cardona's arm. So that's it. Chelsea's got a boot on her foot and Cardona's got a sling.
So both of them are now going to be, everyone in the Cardona house is going to be parking in the blue lanes. And my favorite thing, though, is after the show went off the air, Danhausen puts out a tweet and says, did Danhausen curse at the Met Cardona and forget he did it?
Oh, Danhausen. And just when you...
to me, it was just funny.
Just when you think this is the end, and they're rushing Randy Orton out, all of a sudden you see a fight on the screen, and they will come wind sprinting out across the street. They have Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre fought into a vacant lot and have climbed up some sort of truss, and they're fighting up like what, 20 feet in the air, 10 feet in the air.
I don't know. It looked more like 6 to me, like because the fence, everyone could see over the fence, like so it was probably only a 4-foot fence there. It didn't look much higher than that, so I'm gonna go with 6 feet in the air. These guys fell. Yes,
and then they fight and they fall off of this to their death or to the crash mats below.
Yeah.
On the other hand, this is still better than that time Jericho fell off of that cage and they had the obvious crash mat. In AEW?
Sure.
You don't remember this at all, but I remember, like, dude, anytime when how about Rikishi falling off into the bale of hay?
Yeah.
Like, this is smart. We can't see the fall, so we hear a thump. I can see the prop guy down there below, and he's got, like, him and 2 other guys have got, like, these big clubs. As soon as you think they're about to hit the ground, they hit the ground with, like, sledgehammers that make the thump sound that we heard.
Yeah.
It was great. This was a great ending, and Nick Aldis should be fired because this was chaos.
What? No, not chaos.
All right, Greg, I think it's time for a synopsis.
All right.
He's like, wait, which button do I press? That one.
Yeah. This is your SmackDown synopsis.
And your SmackDown synopsis is brought to you by The Hub Sports Entertainment, where you can hear other podcasts or just us for now.
Yes. All right. So we're going to do this like we did last week because I'm on a time crunch today. What do we have here tonight? Jelly Roll driving past Drew T-boning Jacob Fatu. And then we get greeted with the beginning of the Peter Griffin chicken segment that Brad had predicted previously. We get the Freebird MFTs taking on our priest, and we get the follically challenged R-Truth getting a haircut and getting new champs. Danhausen getting paid by Candace LeRae to cure Johnny Depressing of his depression, but then vanishes with the human money. We get Fraxiom taking on the Motor City Machine Guns, and at the end of the match, Candice LeRae gets involved, punches Frazer. Sabin rolls them up for the win. A smile and a wink from LeRae, and now Johnny Depressing is Johnny Cuckholding. We have Randy Orton talking again, and backstage, him and Matt Cardona get into a verbal discussion where he calls him a mark and a nerd for playing with action figures. Sammy and Aleister Black with Trick Williams at ringside, and outside interference again. We get Greg really wondering if Vince is back with WWE's Dementia Moment of the Night and Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley, and we get B-Fab and Michin now joining forces with Jade Cargill. We have Miz telling us about his week since he's been cursed, and Danhausen trying to get him Dementrum so he can uncurse him, and ladders falling at the Miz. We get the 14th of the Carmelo and Dragunov series. We get Kit Wilson and Jelly Roll with the slam poetry sessions, with Kit Wilson making fun of him losing weight and that he can see his dick again. And Jelly telling him not to worry, his mother's seen it enough, and he used to put his stomach on his mother's back. We get them fighting next week in Pittsburgh in a match. We get the Bella Twins taking on the Irresistible Forces with breaking down at ringside again and getting thrown out. This is going to be a 4-tag team match at WrestleMania in 4 weeks is my bet. And then at the end of the night, we get the Randy Orton, Matt Cardona basically getting destroyed here after Randy Orton takes his telephone call from the back, which I'm firmly believing is Kevin Owens. Cardona gets beat up. Orton gets a chair he already had in the ring, puts it on Cardona's arm, and after about 5 minutes of him in the ring with Cardona with this on his arm, he finally decides to stomp on it. Cardona now has a broken arm. Chelsea has a broken ankle. And they're at the end of the night, if they can avoid Drew McIntyre, the Cardonas will hopefully be able to drive in a accessible parking spot.
So my only question to you is, out of all the things that were on tonight, what would you recommend people go back and watch?
R-Truth getting a haircut.
Oh, come on. You didn't enjoy the Dragunov match? I know you've seen a lot of it, but it was a good match.
It's a good match, but it's also the third one this year, I think.
Yeah, and there's a
that
lot
we've had in the series. Like, give me something new.
Right. I think they should all be in a ladder match at Mania. There's a bunch of those guys there that need something. And yeah, there's just like, I'm thinking about Trick Williams. I'm thinking about Aleister Black. I'm thinking about Sami Zayn. Like, what are we going to do with all these odd parts?
So I'm wrong. This is the second one this year.
They had one
of Dragunov, and then they had that one on December 26th, right?
Right. So Mello won on the 26th in a taped show. And then we also had the one we had this year was Miz. And Miz cost the match. He's pushed him off. So this was the first time this is the first time he's beaten him this year clean.
So since Dragunov won the title on October 17th, him and Carmelo Hayes fought on December the 5th.
Yep.
The title change on the 19th episode, which was the taped show for the 26th.
Yep.
And then they had the match versus Carmelo Hayes beat Dragunov at the Bell Center on January 23rd. And
tonight.
Then tonight. Yeah. Or last night.
You're right. And in reality, they have, at this point, Mello is 3-1.
Yeah.
It's
just a lot of the same match over and over.
Listen, this show is all about same matches. We are a green show. It's pro recycling.
Yeah.
More Bellas, and the women's tag team will keep cycling together. Sami Zayn will keep feuding with the same 3 or 4 people. They're gonna feud with each other.
I don't know, but with that, man, you
gotta bounce, and
bounce.
we desperately need a draft and switch some of the characters from Raw to SmackDown.
Hopefully after 4 weeks, we get some things change after WrestleMania. So,
and we'll be back next week to talk more about the road to WrestleMania and the potholes again that are ahead of us. For Greg, I'm Brad. Goodbye, friends.
The revolutionary podcast in sports entertainment. Follically. bless you all with the lovely tales. But Friday night, SmackDown and beyond. Go to the outer limits of your mind with the SmackDaddies. Revolutionary podcast and sports entertainment. The Father Greg and Brad, the Dad, bless you all with the lovely tales. Friday night SmackDown and beyond. Go to the outer limits of your mind with the SmackDaddies. The revolutionary podcast and sports entertainment. Father Greg and Brad, the Dad, bless you all with the lovely tales. For Friday night, SmackDown and beyond. Go to